Hey friends, I am going to be talking today all about the things I love about these math posters and all the things that I don't love. So let's start with all the things I do love about these posters. Now, I have used Hadley design products in the past on more than one occasion, and I do really absolutely love them. Now, these come packaged very simply. They have a plastic wrap film around them, and they come with a piece of cardboard on the back, also on the front, even though there is a printed design on this one. So it lets you know what you're getting into. Really easy. I really just rubbed off the plastic film on this, and then I can just pull it right off. Really simple, and then pull it out. So these are math posters. And I bought these in tandem with a math curriculum that I use as a homeschool mom. And what I really like about this is it's kind of like a helper sheet for when my kids are doing their math. And so everybody needs a little bit of help now and then, especially if math maybe isn't your strongest subject. So I know with my kids, each of my kids have their own strongest subjects. And for my kids who are more creative and who prefer English and writing, this is a really big help to them. And it makes them less frustrated. Remember when kids were growing up, maybe more of our generation, we were told we wouldn't always have a calculator. That's not always true, but I do want my children to learn skills where they don't rely on a calculator. And that's where these come in so great. So that is some of the things that I love about these. Let me keep going because there's a lot more. You can see there are quite a few posters in this, and I feel like they are all really, really useful. So the thing that I think is really great about this is that these are useful for younger kids all the way up and really through grade school learning. This is just super, super useful for a variety of ages. So number one, this is an addition chart. So it's really awesome. You're going to have all the counting. And I love how this is color coded. Now, when I have been teaching my kids how to do math and how to count, I would be writing this by myself. So I absolutely love for my little kids that I haven't taught that concept to. I don't have to write these out. They're all right here. So you can see this shows how everything is repeating. And then this awesome line shows you as you get bigger that everything just repeats itself, but the next number changes. So that concept is just so beautifully designed in this. And it's something that I have used before exactly like this, just I didn't have an awesome poster to go with it. Okay, so this is a subtraction chart. Really cool. So, you know, kids do worksheets like this all the time where you're just going to be subtracting twos, you're just going to be subtracting fours. And it's really awesome to have this right here. The visual effects of this are so great for that. You know, you talk about hand-eye coordination. The visual effects of this, of doing the math problem and seeing the visuals in front of you, are so great for making those brain synapses and those connections just to connect so well. Okay, then you've got a division chart, same thing based off of the numbers, multiplication chart based off of the numbers. Okay, and now we get into the other things that we do with math and with numbers is we count money. This is so important and is such a basic, useful skill for kids to learn. Now we have Roman numerals. Now this one my kids have absolutely loved getting involved in. It's like a treasure hunt, right? And so my kids absolutely love deciphering Roman numerals, and that is such a fun one. You can print these off online or you can find them yourselves. You can find the worksheets, and then the kids get to find the code and break the code for you. Okay, fractions is a hard one. Fractions have always been my weak points. And so, of course, it's going to be my weak point teaching them to my kids. One of the reasons I decided to get a math curriculum for them. But this really explains it so well. So it just breaks it down. It gives you a visual chart and then also all of the color coding and everything. It just explains it so well. Here we've got time. Time is a huge one. Now, one thing I feel like when I've gotten my kids' workbooks in the past, it has like a small page for each of these, and then you don't get to look at it more and more. So with this, what we can do is we can work on multiple worksheets. We can go over this multiple times, and they still can always go back to this. And it's a very easy visual that they can just look up onto the wall and see. All right. Then we have place values. Of course, this is one of the first things you need to learn when you're counting and learning numbers. We've got 2D and 3D shapes. We've got all the numbers all the way. And then not only do we have the numbers, but we also have how to write them out. We've got the math keywords. Now, this one is something that is hard when you're learning math. When your teacher is saying things like find the sum, what is the sum again? What is the quotient? So this is a little cheat sheet for that also. And this is awesome. This one can be always, who's eating what. That can be difficult with all of these. So this, again, these are just so critical when it comes to the learning process, when it comes to math, and everything is covered in this one packet of math posters. So very cool. These are awesome for teachers, homeschool parents, anybody who's teaching a child, nurseries, anything like that. And even if you're not necessarily teaching these concepts, just to have these visual aids where kids are just always taking them in and internalizing them is very overlooked when it comes to the educational process. So things I don't love, let's talk about that. These because they're so big, they tend to be a little bit wobblier. These do come with a glossy cover, and they are a nice thick paper, but they're bigger. So anything with a bigger mass, of course, let's talk about math, is going to be a little bit weightier, a little bit heavier. So you do need to be a little bit more careful with these until you have them in the place that you want them. So you can use, they're not double-sided, so you can either use those removable sticky tape pieces, you could use some double-sided tape, depending on where you want to put them, or you can put them in some frames. I have found some really awesome larger bulk frames that fit these absolutely awesome. So that is my one really minuscule, teeny tiny, itty bitty little tiny thing that I don't love. I absolutely think that these are so fantastic. Between all the coloring, all the really vibrant colors that you can see, all the information that is enclosed on these posters, and everything that it teaches and helps kids with, and maybe not necessarily teach, but give them that visual aid and help them, assist them as they're doing their math, just absolutely on point, spot on.